Greetings, adventurers! Hey, everybody, and welcome to our Grand Patreon Saints game. This is, I guess, part 2 of their May game. And for those of you who may not know, basically, our Grand Patreon Saints, those people who are at the highest level of our Patreon, get a chance to play with us together. And we have so many now that we've split into 2 parties. It's like the Fellowship of the Ring. And some of them are going off in one direction, some of them going off in the other, all to meet probably on Mount Doom. How fitting, how fitting. So we're going to start this game right now, bring in our Patreon Saints. Here we have Traylon Stardream, Furbog Cleric. How's it going this week?
Doing fantastic.
Fantastic. All right. And we actually saw everyone for a split second last Wednesday night, but and then they decided they went off on their own adventure. And we have Eliza. Hello, how are you? Sunbaked, too close to the lava. She got too close to the lava, clearly. And she's here now. And we have Pent Battle Brewer, Dwarven Cleric of Jozus. Welcome back to the show. He's
good to be back.
Returned from the priests of Jozus as they came to the island to defend the king. Puent ran off on his own, finding out that AAA was on the island, ran off to go find them, and there they were all together. Figured out a few things that the priests of Jozus were kind of interested in getting their hands on some other things before the king does, because although people in Magecroft work together, they're not necessarily working together, if you know what I mean. So, although the priests of Jozus are there to protect the king, they're also there on their own to do their own things. And hello, everyone. Let's see. We got Blondie. We have Sally. Oh, look at all these people here. Yay. All right, my friends. So last we left this party, they headed south. Let's pop up the map. The map. Wait, that map. There we go. The island of Cecil. Now, the very dead center of the island of Cecil was the ruined town of Calcineset. And they met everyone there. Puent Battle Brewer met them all there. They headed back east along that main road. Then they decided that they were going to go head south to Syracuse, as the rest of the party headed north to the big giant volcano, Mount Etten. So we left the party heading south with a group of Leonin. And there they are, heading south towards the city of Syracuse. A large group of Leonin with you, 25, 30 of them. And you're heading south through the weird jungle that is the fire trees, the vines, all the things that are plants that are natural to the fire plane, not so natural here. They are, I'd say, starting to, well, actually, these ones, I was going to say starting to wither, but they're really not starting to wither just yet, because they are still getting a lot of power source mysteriously, from the plane of fire. So, what's going on there? As you're heading south, you hear something along these beaten roads. These roads it's 400 years since anyone's done any maintenance on them. They've become overgrown with these strange plants, and so they're pretty narrow at this point. Even the large roads, pretty narrow. You're getting towards Syracuse, and you hear a faint whir and a hum coming from down the road. Just give me a perception check.
15.
15. All right. Everybody else? A natural
My first
21.
official roll back.
You're like, I hear the slight whir of an object I know nothing about, but I suddenly know everything about it.
I only got a 13. I'm apparently paying a little too much attention to all the lion-like people around, being a cow-like person myself.
And they're actually kind of spread out pretty far. They're not all using the road. They're kind of all like, some are kind of, into the fire trees, and they're, keeping watch and stuff like that. Pwent, from down the road, you hear a faint whir and you're like, that reminds me of the time a long time ago when I met some gnomes who had really, really great machinery that hovered off the ground. And sure enough, breaking through some of the vines is a pretty large vehicle that seems to magically hover. And it is kind of flying a little sideways. It's not like, you ever seen a vehicle that had its frame bent and then it drives a little sideways, but it looks like it's going straight? That's what it's doing. And at the helm is a gnome who looks about as surprised as you are to see him. And there's a Demo Jake here who rolls a 19. All right. Well, good job. There you go. You're one of the, might even be one of the Leonin who also detected this gnome coming up. He's not headed for you viciously, but he is headed straight for you down this road. What do you guys do?
What the hell was that?
Stepping off to the side of the road.
Okay. Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Gonna do the same thing and turn on a shillelagh just in case.
All right. Well, with plenty of time, with that nat 21, with that plenty of time to kind of go, hey, that's probably should get out of the way. Everyone has enough time to move, and I guess it doesn't make any screeching sounds at all. It's a hovercraft. It just goes and stops in front of you. Hello?
Hello?
You guys not from around here, are you? Well, I think you guys are. He points to Leonin. Points to the three of you.
Nay.
I was
Just
like,
from the other side of the pond there.
Right, Captain Obvious.
Well, this is are you guys friends of Gear Chaser fella?
We're looking for a gear chaser fella.
Oh. Are you looking for him in a good way or a bad way?
A good way.
Oh, okay. What seems to be the problem? What's going on?
Something about he got kidnapped?
He got kidnapped? But by who?
Or my brain's all wrapped up between what Trollan knows and what I know.
Well, I guess you would know
the gear
that.
chaser you're talking about is being held hostage by the king.
Yes.
Yeah, by the king.
Whoa. You mean that? Ooh.
The king of Agecroft over there across the pond.
So are you here to help him?
Yeah.
Apparently, we were told that the king is not good, even though I totally would marry him, but that's just me.
Well, well, if you're here to help him, I think I can help him. What do you know where he is?
We were
We were
looking for
told
some things in a city to try to figure everything out.
Well, there's some. Are we looking to get in a fight? Is that's what's happening? Because
I'm
I
always
happen
ready
to
for a good fight.
know where there's some equipment that we might be able to use to help him out.
And where would this be, per se?
Oh, it'd be right a little south, back in the city, the ruins. We
Does
got
that
some.
city happen to have a name?
Oh, it's Sarakas. Well, it used to have a name. I mean, it's a pile of rubble right now. So,
I mean, it seems like everything here is a pile of rubble. So what else is new?
Aye, but Tarakis is where we need to go.
Yes.
well, let's go. Like you can jump on board here if you want. I found his hovercraft. It's great. It almost goes straight even. Climb aboard. And he
Or okay.
Sure. Why not?
and so he's like, well, and the Leonins are like, well, we'll come with you, but we'll walk, I guess. And so he takes him a minute to kind of turn it around. This hovercraft has seen better days. Clearly, it looks like it's definitely been in a few fender benders, but it still functions. So great.
It's like the Millennium Falcon. It's falling apart, but what do you do?
It's a piece of junk, but it's the only piece of junk in the neighborhood. So
I'm glad you came up with that because that's not what I was thinking when he was describing it originally. With us growing up in the 80s, I was more or less thinking along some of the things I've seen in North Carolina back then with pickup trucks.
yeah.
You know, almost looked like a cat that was running sideways.
Yeah, almost a little bit. Well, he says, my name's Gilbert, and yeah, I made friends with that little Thales, the gear chaser, and well, he left. They went off. They went off a little while ago. I thought they were gonna come back after they went to Sarakas, and then they didn't. So I decided to go follow them down to Sarakas, and well, they weren't there either. So I did find some things though that might help them out. I managed to get into the gear chaser halls that are underneath the city, and found some really interesting things.
To find interesting things.
Oh, there's massive amounts of armor. There's armor for minotaurs and Leonin and gnomes. And
What about humans?
well, didn't quite see anything for humans. No.
Always discriminating against humans.
Well, I mean, you're not quite the right size. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, not tall enough to be a merfolk either, I guess. But there might be some weapons as well in there that you might be able to use. The only thing is that they need power cells, and well, now that you're here, there is there's a depot of power cells. It used to be part of the city's guard arsenal. I've never been able to get into it because it's too heavily guarded by machines. So maybe you guys could possibly get in there and bring back the power cells. Then those weapons would work. Yeah.
I'd be down.
So we destroy some machines and get some power cells, and then you give us stuff?
Yeah.
Traylon is giving us free weapons and armor. I'm a fighter. I want more weapons. Okay.
And then, well, I thought we'd maybe find that gear chaser fella, And if we get enough power cells, there's enough power cells to power all the armor for all those Leonin there. Make a whole group. What do you say?
Sounds
Not
like
good.
the kind of army we could use to go on a rescue.
Say that again.
I'll let Traylon go first.
That sounds like the kind of armor that an army could use to mount a rescue against the king and his army.
It's not going to fit me, so I really don't care. So sure.
Says, also, if we find enough power cells, we might be able to get this thing running again. And he taps the gigantic cannon that is on the front of this hovercraft.
Why do you have a cannon on a hovercraft?
I didn't build this. Somebody else did.
Clearly.
I've been able to get it to hover again. It kind of hit the dirt a little while ago, but there's not enough power in this to fire this cannon. I'm really curious to see what it does, honestly.
So while those that do the better thinking are doing the thinking and talking, Point's doing what he does best if he's not fighting.
Just drinking. Very well. Says, well, so here's what I propose. We get on down to the basement of the Gear Chaser layer, get ourselves in there, us and the Leonins, and then at the right time, you guys want to make it out,
Dad wants you to come outside.
then you can try to find all the power cells. What do you say? And then bring them back to us while we get everything else ready in the basement.
What kind of machines are we going to fight? Yeah, know how we can defeat them?
Well, there's a couple of small ones, and then there's a really big one. But, well, maybe. I do happen to have this old capacitor that basically, well, if you gotta hit him with it at the right time, and it should stun him for a few rounds. You might be able to use it on the big one, but I only have one of them. You're gonna have to fight the other three. That's be a piece of cake.
How big and heavy is that thing?
The capacitor. I mean, it's like it's like one of those giant. It's like one of those batteries that you for like those flashlights. The
12-volt batteries.
Yeah,
the
it's
big
like that.
square ones.
Yeah. So it's pretty. It's about as heavy as it can get. Yeah, piece of cake till you roll a one. That's right.
I could probably turn into something small and carry that and be a lot less observed.
It's what I made. So there it is. It's got a lot of kick to it. Don't worry. The gnome was a ghost the whole time. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the and thanks everybody who's joining us from this past weekend at the Tennessee Renaissance Fair. Thanks so much. This is our Grand Patreon Saints game. These are supporters who support the show. They get to game with us once a month. We roll them into the plot of our weekly game, and it all affects everything because it's all in the same universe. It's a ton of fun. So thanks everybody for joining us. It's great to see you all. I just saw that note that someone said they saw we at the fair this weekend. So I wanted to say thanks. So meanwhile, back on Earth. Gilbert's like, well, if you want, it only stuns him for a little while, but it'll stun him. You got to hit him with it pretty hard. It's like a very short range taser. Extremely short range. Yep. So sound like a plan?
Sure, I'm in.
All right. It says, all right, so here's the thing. To get back into that basement, now I was able to unlock the door. There is also there's a big guy
It
guarding.
involves tentacles.
No tentacles, just the thing that shoots beams of high energy blasts and 2 arms that just kind of. That's all.
A robot.
You call it a robot, I call it an automaton.
Automaton.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is an
A
automaton?
really big construct.
Yes. It's a automaton is an automated device that thinks for itself. Is automated.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
These are going to
Also,
be
it's set on kill. So, yeah, we just gotta sneak into the basement, wait for it to calm down, sneak back out.
Are ye daft, laddie? Have you taken a look? Do I look like I can sneak anywhere?
Well, maybe the Leonin could draw him off to one side. We zoom the hovercraft back in, and they'll come around afterwards. It's only one big thing. How bad could it be?
One big thing that we could potentially get killed by.
Well, you could get killed by almost anything. See that plant? It's poisonous. Don't lick it.
You said it's set to kill. Is there an off?
I haven't been able to reach it. It has really tall legs. The off switch is probably way up there. And I only have the one capacitor, so we can either stop that guy or we could stop the guards guarding the depot. Up
Power
to you.
cells are important, it sounds.
Yes.
But then after we do that, we still have to deal with the other thing.
Exactly. Won't it be fun?
Eliza, I think this is what you want, right?
You know, sometimes there are days where I wake up just being like, I want to be a hero and save the world and do the hero thing. And then there are days where I wake up saying, I miss people waiting on me hand and foot, not having to fight all the time for my money.
I say
I don't
go
think
kick
so.
parts
I'm
and
gonna
wipe
beat 'em.
off the bottom of your boots.
Fine, we'll do the thing.
All right.
Weapons.
All right. So the Leonin finally catch up to you, and they're like, "All right, do we have a plan?" And Gilbert kind of explains, as you're on the outskirts of the city. It's pretty much just rubble everywhere. There's not a building that is more than 1 story high at this point. They've all pretty much come down. There might be a couple of towers that still have maybe a couple, maybe 2 stories, but that's about it. There's everything else just piles of rubble, just collapsed after 400 years of being in the plane of fire and not really designed for that. So, while you're there, behind a large pile of rubble building, Gilbert explains to the Leonin, the leader, or one of the leaders. There are several. His name in Leonin is Snacks, but you can call him Mr. Fluffy. He doesn't mind. He is rather fluffy. And he's like, okay, so Gilbert's like, all right, if you guys want to do this, what we'll do is you guys head like you're going towards because the creature is guarding the main piazza where the entrance is. So you guys just kind of boop over and make yourselves visible. It'll come towards you guys, and then you pull back, and we'll zoom by, and then as it comes after us, then you guys wait for him to go back the other way, and then you can signal him over that way, and then you guys can come in later. And they're like, so we're the bait, and then we're also more bait. Great. It's like, well, does anyone have a better plan?
It's like, welcome to our life. We're always bait.
That's right. It's like, well, if you don't have a better plan, let's do it. And so, without further ado, bait. Without further ado, you guys get to one side of the piazza. Behind the buildings, again, are just completely piles of rubble. There's large streets that head towards the center on the piazza. So the rubble hasn't, blocked any. It's blocked the small streets. It has not blocked the big streets. So there's a couple of big entranceways into that main piazza. And the stones are like this beautiful white stone. And you keep looking at all of these buildings that are destroyed, and you just keep thinking like how nice they would look if it was all back together again. It would be grand.
If the Nation had not attacked.
Yeah, if only the Fire Nation hadn't attacked.
Damn the Fire Nation.
No, and there's Mr. Fluffy now. What's his name?
This is Stella.
Stella.
Aww.
Oh, Stella, second in command. All right. So basically, so you're like, you're standing there on the hovercraft, and you don't see anything. The Leonins are way off to the other side of the piazza, and they kind of like make some like, hey, over here. Hello. And nothing really happens. So they start making some more noise. And I roll another 10. And then, really. So they're like looking around. They don't really, they start to come out of the cover a little bit more. They're like, maybe it went away. Gilbert's like, it's usually here in the thing, and they're still like, they're still, the cats are still very cautious, but they're looking around and nothing is happening. So they come out a little bit more into the piazza, and still the wind blows. Man, it doesn't throw some big rocks. Well, do you want to do anything? What do you?
Better than what I was thinking. I was thinking throw the goblin, throw the gnome.
Yeet the gnome.
Don't eat the gnome. Well, I mean, you could. Anything?
So what I'm going to do, because I have a feeling that there's something there, I'm going to take one of my hand axes and I'm going to throw it at the wall just to see if something comes out.
Okay. Roll a d20 or a d21 for that matter.
Now that I finally have a D21, I feel like a cool kid. I got a 5.
Well, you successfully throw it.
But it just doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't exactly go as far as you were hoping it would go. It just kind of skitters across the piazza, and nothing happens. And Gilbert's like, "This is really weird. It's usually here."
What do you mean it's usually here? Why is it not here?
Is there anything in the hovercraft that I can pick up and throw?
I mean, aside from the gnome, yeah.
Yes, aside from yeeting the gnome.
I mean, there's a couple of boxes that, look like have been put on here. There's some crates. I don't. Yeah, I mean, you could just grab them, I suppose, but Gilbert might be upset. I don't know.
Throw a lit oil flask in the middle of the piazza or something.
Would you like to?
Give it a shot.
All right. Go for it. You basically bunk. Yep. Would you? So I mean, it's a wide open piazza. There's some rubble in the middle of piazza, not too much. Used to be a fountain. It's clearly just completely destroyed. Would you like to attempt to just hit the fountain, or?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. Give it a throw.
That would be a 13.
All right. You're like, it's pretty far. It's a pretty big piazza. You can give it a chuck. Is that your athletic skill as well?
Well, just dex for throwing.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, you give it a nice and you hit it. It explodes. Gilbert's like, well, F this. If that didn't wake it up, let's just go. And he takes the hovercraft, rolls it right into the piazza, and heads on over to what is basically like, it's like the bottom of a ziggurat. It's like just the bottom level. So just one trapezoidal shape. Bam, that's it. And it has very, very angular walls. And as he gets closer to it, the front of the piece of the front just comes down and opens up into a hallway. And with that hovercraft, he just slides it right in. Oh, a -5 from Blondie. It still hits. Actually, it apparently just didn't. Apparently, the creature is not here, or it is totally not waking up, even though I've rolled 12 times. Eventually, the Leonins are like, all right, well, fine. Like, clearly it's not here. So they just chuck it along the sides of the buildings to also go in, and still nothing. Clearly, machine's out to lunch. I don't know. It must have been napping. So who knows? You have made it into the building. And once again, it's completely dark. And there is a gigantic statue, bronze, of a gnome standing there in front of you. And it's like, that's all you pretty much kind of just standing there. As you get inside, you're all standing there looking around. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. It seems to once have been extremely beautiful, well decorated, fine gnomish craftsmanship. And just then the statue's eyes, bronze eyes, open up and glow red. It looks around at you, and you can tell that it's definitely not moving as smoothly as it used to. And it trying to take in all of you.
Coming.
Welcome, gear chasers. And then it raises a metallic eyebrow. You're not gear chasers. How did you get in here? And
I point right at the hovercraft.
At the gnome. He's like, well, I found this hovercraft. And he looks around and goes, oh, guys, maybe there's a defense mechanism inside here. And its name was Siri or Syrah. That's right. It says anyone but gear chasers are not allowed in here. Only gear chasers are allowed in the gear chaser hall.
What if we're
Gear
here to get
chasers
stuff
are
to
dead.
help rescue gear chasers?
I am not programmed to take those into consideration. You have exactly 30 seconds to depart from Gear Chaser Hall if you are not a gear chaser.
Is there anything on the robots that looks like some of the gear chaser tech I have would interact with it?
Perhaps. Yes, that's right. You had a few items there. Looking closely, give me a... let me see. Oh, it would be a wisdom. Not quite perception. Intuition. Yeah. Animal handling. No. Yeah, give me a perception check. Actually,
18.
it would perhaps. Oh, all right. We'll give you that. I was gonna say it might be an Arcana, but actually, or maybe
Well,
even a History.
I
But-
rolled a 16 and my wisdom is a +2.
All right, perfect. You're like, well, and you pull out an item that definitely has the Gear Chaser symbol on it, and at the base of the statue is you're like, there's a thing that you probably could imprint exactly key-like, but it's, so you're like,
I will give it a try.
all right, you leap off the hovercraft, run over to it, and kind of like, kink. And you do notice that there are the base, there are lines in the metal, so maybe it turns. Maybe you're like, give it a turn. Maybe like it does seem to want to turn.
I will try turning it to the right.
All right. He goes, oh, and the automaton says, oh, and how many guests are you bringing today?
About 30.
I will need an accurate count, please.
So there's the 3 of us.
And 25 Leonin? 28?
What a 28.
And how many Leonin was it? 28?
Yes.
No, it's 25. and then
25
it's
Leonin.
plus 3, and then it's 28.
Plus Gilbert is 29.
29.
Is it 29 or 28? How many
Well,
guests?
it's 25 Leonin, Gilbert, and the 3 of us.
So
Right.
It's 29.
Right. So
Minus-
28 guests. Okay. All right. So what do you say? 28 or? All right.
Yes, it's me and 28 guests.
Right. Very well. And it scans. You see the scanning go across everybody, and they're like, what? Very well. Welcome to Gear Chaser Hall. Do not touch anything that is off limits, please, as a favor to us.
So we're essentially entering the Cave of Wonders.
Maybe.
Like, don't
No,
touch
more like the
anything.
Fortress of Solitude. You can look but can't touch.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so there you are. Gilbert says, let's see, according to what I have, there's an armory and there's the Hall of Arms, and there's all of the armor. We can check it out. And of course, he just leaves the hovercraft there in the large main center room, and starts to run around. The large automaton Says, if there are any questions that I can answer for you today, please let me know.
Which way to the Hall of Arms?
It points a finger over to your right. It's left.
What's
Any
off
other
limits?
questions? Hmm?
What's off limits?
The West Wing.
Are you asking it what's off limits?
Yeah. What's exactly off limits?
Well, all of the things that are private property of all of the gear chasers. Please do not harm anything as well. Thank you. Enjoy your visit.
And Eliza's going to say under her breath, damn it.
Can our gear chaser friend here take some stuff? Since he's a gear chaser?
Of course. The Hall of Gear Chasers is open to the gear chasers.
Well, thank you.
Gilbert's like walking around. He's like, oh man, this is awesome. Like,
Come on, buddy. Let's go find
the
some
Leonins. They're like, all right, so what's going on here now? What?
So apparently we're here to like get something for Gilbert here, but apparently according to this automaton, whatever it is, we can't touch anything.
We can. But it thinks Puent's a gear chaser. It said he can take anything. Yeah.
The one that had the key.
Like, Gilbert yells back, we're not taking anything unless we get some batteries. All these things they need power.
That too. So where do we start looking?
Oh, the depot is outside.
Is that where the big scary monster is that you told us about?
Oh, the other scary monsters, yes.
So where's the big scary monster?
Maybe he's off fighting something else. Who knows?
Pretty much just throw something at the wall, hope it sticks, and just go with it.
Well, it has been 400 years since anyone's done any maintenance on those guys, and well, sometimes they fight each other. Sometimes something shows up. They just, who knows? Maybe finally it broke.
All
Maybe
right.
they're a little rusty.
Hall of Arms it be.
All right. You go inside. There are this beautiful, beautiful place, and there's all manner of weapons, pole arms and swords, and I guess you'd call them magic stabs, rods, some with backpacks attached to them, battle axes, crossbows of sorts, but they look very strange. They're definitely gnomish crossbows. That's the best way to describe that. What would you like to do?
Eliza's just like geeking out over the weapons, being like, "Oh my god, look at all these beautiful weapons! I want to touch them." And
Warhammers?
possibly steal one.
Oh yeah, there's warhammers.
Like really nice looking warhammers.
Yes, and there are a lot of weapons. Some of them are gnome sized. Some of them are human-ish sized. Leonin are a little bit bigger than humans, but they look like they are actually like there's plenty of them, and each one has there's a series of them that have cat heads on them that are clearly meant, and actually they look good, and definitely probably like the fashion would fit the armor that is for the Leonins. there's tridents for the merfolk, and that it's all blue and kind of like that the blue steel. And you're like, oh yeah, that probably matches the merfolk armor. And then you're like, oh, there's gigantic battle axes meant for minotaurs that are definitely minotaur battle axes, and the reddish bronze, it's like matches the armor that is made for the minotaurs, and the design work too. A lot of filigree.
All that detailing.
All the detail, all the fine detailing. Gnomes. You know those gnomes. They're just crazy about that stuff.
So, is there a sword that you're looking at that I can go, oh, Gear Chaser needs a sword?
Yeah, sure. What kind of sword would you like?
I don't know why, but I feel like I need a new rapier. Like, after yeeting it at that elephant squid's head.
All right,
Got all the ink on it. And I'm trying to still get rid of the nightmares.
Is there a nice, good-looking rapier that we can...
I'm gonna say, like, who would they have designed it for? Maybe the Leonin, but I will say, well, I'm gonna give it a small percent chance that there's rapiers here. All right, a 16 on a percentile dice. Yeah, there's a few. There are like 3 rapiers, definitely beautifully designed. Actually, one for each. There's like one for merfolk, one for minotaurs, one for the Leonin. They weren't really sure who might want one, but they made one. They were like, someone's probably gonna want this. But the one that's for the actually either the Leonin or the merfolk one would fit a human. The one for the minotaur is a little big.
It's a little big. Be like a Scottish claymore on me, where I'd like have to like pole vault just to use it.
No, it's going to be bigger than a Scottish claymore.
Right. but made like a rapier, so it just it's weird. Anyway, it's weird. You're like,
What are the colors for the Leonin one?
The colors for the Leonin one, it's a light bronze. It's almost yellowish gold. And then the Minotaur one's a dark bronze, dark red, and then the Trident ones are the blue.
I'm guessing that Eliza would like a blue one.
Well, actually, no, I prefer gold because it's like, girls love golds.
It's bronze, red, bluish.
Fine, I'll take the bronze one because it's close to gold.
I grab a bronze one. Gear Chaser needs a rapier.
Meanwhile, Eliza's just like petting it while she's behind Point, just being like, my precious, my precious.
I'm looking at the Warhammers.
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous.
I still haven't replaced my Warhammer from when
that's right,
broke.
from so long ago. Eliza, you do notice that there is something. The pommel of it definitely has a place where it's hollowed out in the center.
I'm gonna start like pulling at it a little bit because I'm like noticing it, and I'm like,
it has a little thing that slides out, and some sort of tube needs to go back in there.
You guys, I think these are the weapons that we were looking for, where we need to get that energy charge cell for us to actually use these weapons.
What does Trellin carry?
Work.
Trellin carries typically staves, maybe a bow, short bow.
There's crossbows. Of course, there's no actual bows, but
because let's see, this crossbow. Yeah, I don't actually have simple weapons, so for some weird reason, I have scimitar. This druid knows how to use scimitars.
Nice. Now, Trellin, you could actually use the Minotaur armor mostly, You couldn't use the bottom part of the legs, and the the helmet would be a bit awkward, but the rest of it would fit. So if you wanted to, you could actually use some of that. So,
So
Yeah,
I am definitely
What
taking
were those
a.
rod things you were talking about?
they are definitely stabs that you're like, oh yeah, this is it's a staff, but it does also take some sort of battery, so it does something else.
Well, I could definitely take a staff.
All right,
Staff. Gear Chaser needs a staff.
just gonna be loaded up.
Gear Chaser needs a Warhammer. And because it's close to the Joss's colors, I'm grabbing the one for the merfolk.
Nice. All right.
And then, just to be nice, for little Gilbert Grape over there, what type of weapon does he carry?
He actually just seems to be carrying a short sword. He's got daggers. He's got all sorts of tools on him. Doesn't really seem to have a main weapon. I guess maybe the
So
short
I will
sword.
go find a nice little short sword for him.
All right. Fantastic. All of these weapons definitely have an extra little piece that takes a battery charger and then, and yeah. All right.
So now I gotta go find these battery chargers.
Like,
Hey,
like
Gilbert, you know where
Bonnie
they
said,
would be
one
by
for the
any
little
chance?
gnome who lives down the lane.
That's right. Gilbert says, yeah, that depot is out, and he draws you a quick map, and basically it's one of the inside of the old wall. There was a small fort inside the town that was basically it's the armory, basically the armory for the city if the city ever got attacked, blah blah blah. And it is defended by the automatons to this day. He's like, there's so many batteries in there, it's so awesome, and I've never been able to get to it because there's too many.
So that's why you called us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we might as well start getting this shit on the road.
Very well. He's like, well, maybe we could we might need the hovercraft to load up everything. Might be kind of dangerous, but it might be the best way. There's an awful lot of powered units in there. I guess I'll drive the getaway car.
Yes, you drive the getaway car.
Okay. So he tells the Leonins, Stella, Snacks, Mr. Fluffy. It's like, here's the thing. I don't know if the statue guy is watching too hard, but maybe we'll just tell him we'll be back, and then they can maybe collect the armor. Who knows? So Gilbert goes over to the statue. I guess maybe they'll have to meet us outside. He tells the cat, the Leonin, yeah, take your key. Well, if the Leonin grab the armor and we all leave at the same time, and maybe Puent, maybe you can keep the statue busy as we all kind of leave, and then maybe we'll just sneak on out there with all the Leonin. And then the Leonin can head off and we'll try to meet back with them. What do you think?
Works for
You want
me.
to ask the statue if there's an emergency exit? There's a back door. He might not be watching.
Do you ask the statue?
Yeah, we could, or Plint could.
I will.
All right. It says, escape hatch? Yes, but you would need the secret code.
What is the secret code? This gear chaser needs to know it.
You should have a key for it. That's the secret code.
Do the other things look like keys?
Yeah, maybe.
Also, what if I'm here for a depot pickup for Gear Chaser order 176532071?
Come again?
Gear Chaser request order 176571. 1 Minotaur armor, 1 Merfolk armor, 25 Leonin armor.
He goes, checking. My records are incomplete there. I am sorry.
You haven't been around for 400 years. This is brand new.
I have not been given any orders or instructions.
You have been, just now.
Ah, I see. He goes, checking. I see that you have the proper clearance. Because I rolled a 2. Some of my records are incomplete, but using my infallible logic, I see you are correct. And you actually start, you actually see a couple of wires inside, like, you know, the plates that make this guy, some have slipped, some have fallen off. And you see a couple of wires, like, as he says, like his infallible circuitry, you see like some sparks, like okay. Very well. Permission is granted. And you see like a pop, like. What do you do?
I make it so that those armors are pulled.
All right. So the Leonin go over and they like get all the stuff.
Hold on.
Yeah. And again, it's pretty cool stuff, but at the same time, it is definitely in low battery mode. And so you can still move pretty good, but you don't have any like special powers or anything like that. We're operating in low battery mode, like my phone all the time. It's like, so Gilbert's like, well, all right. So what do we do now? We'll get out of here and we'll take the hovercraft. You guys will go and we'll see if we can.
Somehow the other weapons are all on me, so that it's leaving with the Gear Chaser.
Right. So the Leonin are like, okay, so wait, where are we going? We're gonna meet you back here, or meet you where? Outside the city? I suppose there's no reason we can't all fight these things.
Yeah, honestly, that's one of the reasons I got the armor for you.
All right. Well, the Snacks says, all right, Gnome, lead the way to this battery dump. And so it's like, well, all right, let's head out this door and let's try to make it across this piazza. Hopefully the thing's not back here. Let's go. And he maneuvers using his animal handling, maneuvers the hovercraft out the door and into the piazza, and still nothing happens.
Because why would anything happen?
Oh, and I do
Cars
make
were
sure to
lining
take
for
my
us
key
today.
back before we leave.
Okay. And as you pull out that key, it says, all guests must depart in 30 seconds. Please leave before the timer is up. 30, 14, 10, 26,
Moving
8,
faster now.
3, 2, and you guys head out. The Leonin. All right, so you guys get into the piazza on the hovercraft. The Leonin troop out after you, and just as the hovercraft gets past the piazza itself, and the Leonin are out there, that is when you see a pile of rubble shake, and a large orange-looking ball with giant arms and humongous legs breaks the surface of the rubble with one giant angry eye, and it and then yelling like, oh, that's what you were talking about. Holy crap. It's got to be 40 feet tall. And they tear off out of there. Gilbert makes a successful animal handling check with a 17 and turns down the street to get out of the piazza. The Leonin basically make it. Oh, nice. Natural 21. The Leonin make it out before this automaton really gets it gives it the evil eye. Before the automaton really gets anywhere, it stomps around a little bit in the piazza. The Leonin just scatter, and Gilbert continues to drive, but the Leonin have dispersed. He's like, well, kind of yells back, meet you around the side. And he kind of keeps driving. Would you like
Eliza's going to scream, y'all are a bunch of cowards. It's like, we get weapons for you, we get armor for you, and then as soon as the baddie shows up,
They're not here to fight a giant robot by themselves.
and we're supposed to.
You're the heroes. So, would you like to try to do anything else before we get around to the other side?
Run.
Run, yes.
Run.
All right, you're on the hovercraft. You head out away from the piazza. You head through some of the narrow streets, and Gilbert, and you are on you're on the inner street. That it, clearly the wall that defended the city is on your left-hand side, and you're kind of traveling that street that goes along the wall on the inside of the city. And of course, again, everything is rubble, everything is wrecked. There once was a very beautiful church there. Clearly, just the rocks are just great, though. Awesome temple, though. It was really nice. It was really nice. It's a shame. One, change to shoot the arrow at the red button. Give it a try. You guys have made it far away from that creature, and whatever that creature was guarding, it was pretty much only guarding the piazza, so it did not actually chase you guys down. You get around to the other part of the city, and in another kind of open area in the city, there is a fort-looking building. It's probably 30 by 30, and you can tell the walls are massive and thick. It is maybe 20 feet high, which is humongous for gnomes. And it does seem to be like its own kind of fort with a small bronze door, very tiny window slits. But it is the only building actually standing here. And you can see on top of it are two. They are white metal, but they're definitely dirty. Kind of globes. You can't really see because the roof has these little parapets on top, and they're just sitting there. Definitely like what they stand out.
Do they look similar to that big orange thing?
Kind of. And as you get a little bit closer, you can tell that they have like little black, I guess you call them eyes, maybe. They were, and it's like, it actually looks like a white spider with no legs. Like a big one, like a 4-foot diameter spider with no legs. And there's two of them. It has all these little black dots all over it, which must be eyes, maybe.
So basically, this thing's as big as I am.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are the two that you see.
Because I'm the shrimp of the group.
Right. Gilbert says, somewhere around here is the big one.
Wait, that wasn't the big one?
No. There's a big one that defends this building. Smaller than that one. Still pretty big. But if you can hit it with this, you could stun it for a little while. And then just got to smash in that bronze door. And all the batteries are there.
So what do we do?
So find the big thing, stun it,
They might have to fight the little guys, but
and maybe fight the little guys. And they're up on a parapet way up there?
yeah, 20 feet. Like I said, for gnomes, that's insurmountable.
Is there anything that looks like a keyhole that we can see at this distance
Give me a
on that door frame area?
yeah. Give me a this is not the Gear Chaser neighborhood, so but yeah, there is a keyhole probably for the door. Mm-hmm.
Well, if there is one, I don't know anything about it.
I mean, the door is decorative, sort of, but it is mostly functional.
I see a door.
Yes, big bronze door.
If there was any filigree or decoration, I could be right on top of it right now, and I just see bronze door.
I mean, everything about this building is meant to make it look massive and just chunky. The door looks thick, unbreakable. Could just be looks. Who knows?
As a matter of fact, I looked at that door so hard I gave myself a headache.
That's right.
Because, like I said in the the chat for Twitch before, I don't need Sally's help. I don't need Blondie's help to roll a 1 because that's what I did. I looked so hard I gave myself a headache.
Yes. You know what? And since that it was a 1, let's yeah. So you're, like I said, you're just kind of a catty corner across the street from it. You're a good 40 feet away, and you're looking and you're looking and you look so hard with that 1 that you fall off the hovercraft. As you're leaning forward and you're like, and then whoa, poof. You don't take any damage, but the 2 little guys up top, one of them, a little thing pops up out of his head, and from the backside of that building, I guess it's about it's got to be 10 feet in diameter, kind of Well, it does look like a very large creature, but it's got a head about 10 feet, and then it's got these crazy arms, and it stands up from the back, like from the other side of the behind the building, and starts to come around. Huh.
Well, that's a thing.
Yup. And it starts to look around with his little angry eyes, and it's only 20 feet tall total. 20-ish. Comes around the building, and Gilbert's like, "Oh, that's the big one. That's him right there. There it is."
And you say that so casual, Gilbert.
Yep.
Mr. Obvious. Okay.
I'm going to be
I'm
Mr.
going to do
Stupid.
something really stupid.
I'm going to be Mr. Stupid as I'm trying to kind of shield myself somewhat behind my shield. I'm
Okay.
going to hold out one of the key that had the Gear Chaser logo on it to see if that does anything. Because I can't do much else.
Right. Gilbert also is like, "Here, take this, quick." You're gonna need it.
Snatch that.
All right. You hold up the Gear Chaser sign, Pwent, and it basically, like, you can tell it has some sort of sensor that does seem to be looking at you, and then a number of large metal thorns shoot out of it. What's your armor class? Oh, damn.
18, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah, thanks to my wife.
Oh,
Lovely wife.
damn. A series. Oh, okay. I don't know how you guys get this lucky, but every time somebody crits me, I freaking roll a 1 for damage on the die roll.
Yeah.
However, that is still going to be with the +3. That's going to be 8 damage as these large, almost foot-long, that could be metal thorns, long, like shoot out of these little holes on its body, and most of them go past you. One chunks right in through your shield and hits you like gah. Now you've just pissed it off.
It's pissed me off too.
Yeah. Eliza, what do you do?
Oh, I'm going after that thing. It's like, I don't care. It's
All
attacking
right.
my friends. I want to attack it back because I am pissed.
And what are you attacking it with?
I'm going to try once again with my hand axes. Hopefully.
Okay,
I
so you
have a
leap off the hovercraft and run towards it. You're right about that's the full movement, and swinging, chunking your axe into its leg.
And I rolled a nat 21.
Nicely done.
Finally.
You could actually probably do you're pretty sure that those legs are pretty fierce and not gonna if you wouldn't work well with your axe. So you do one of those parkour
Dive rolls.
jump from the leg up enough to get that axe into its belly. Extremely heavily armored belly, but somehow you managed to get your axe between 2 cracks in its shielding. Roll me some damage.
I got 9.
All right, and then that is doubled for an 18. Because for those of you who are new to the show, a critical 21 just doubles everything, just because it's easier. And who doesn't love double damage? All right, so Traylon.
I am going to turn into a Black Panther and pick up that capacitor with my mouth and go running off towards that thing.
Okay, you are at that's a bonus action, right?
Wild shape. Yep. Yeah, I get to wild shape as bonus action.
Right. So you are right at the. Well, you've got more movement than 30, right? As a panther.
Yeah, 40.
Oh, so you can actually get there. Do.
And then smack it.
All right,
I'll
this
do my
is that
best.
moment.
Whip at it with my head.
Blondie's already used her critical, so she can't crit fail you at least. But
At least you can't crit fail me. Let's see. I don't even know. I guess I'd be using a bite. Would that be the closest thing there?
it's just a melee. Yeah.
Just a melee. Yeah, to attack melee. Oh, only a 12.
Well, it's a touch attack, so it has 0 dex, and Sally's throwing down the disadvantage. All right.
Well,
Well, if you can roll higher than a 12, the 12 will work.
the 12. I get a 19. So
Oh, all right. There we go. So everybody's throwing down the disadvantages. Even though, so you swing it, but you're not really used to doing that with your mouth, and kind of like it falls out. You grab it again. You're like, oh God, if I get shocked by this thing, you gotta and slam it into like not the most graceful attack you've ever made. However, you do hit it, and pow. Oh well, okay. Tell you what, they're actually both going to give me Eliza and Traylon both give me saving throws. This is Constitution saves.
I got a 15, but I also have a +5 for a saving throw, so it would be 20.
Nice. All right, you managed to yoink your axe out of its body just as you see like pow, this spark shoot across. And since you did have an extra disadvantage there, Traylon, you're going to take disadvantage on this as well there. Because Sally threw a disadvantage and then Blondie threw a disadvantage. So
8.
8. All right. Well, you eat some of that charge as well.
It's a good thing I have a lot of temporary hit points.
I rolled a 6 on that one. So pow, and it's just it hit. It's more that the capacitor flew back and smacked you in the face, really, than anything else. And then it just goes and falls over like R2D2 being hit by Tusken Raiders. I believe. No, wait, no, it's Jawas. Sorry, Jawas.
That was a total of 6 damage.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Kablam. And it just however, those little white guys up top, one of them leaps down, doing, and comes over. Well, it's closer. It's gonna be closer to Traylon. It rolls up and also gives a shock attack. Oh, really? It was going to be a 19 and it flipped over to a 1. Up and down. So that's going to be a miss. Let's see. All right. So that's everything on that go. Sorry, Blondie. Couldn't work it out with the +5. All right. So Puent, the giant has come down. Give me a perception check.
$17.
You do notice as it falls forward that there is like a lid on top that is meant to be, it's how you would get in it to fix it or whatever. You just something I thought I'd point out. And as you're like, what do you do?
Is it within 25 feet of me?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's my movement.
Right. Yeah, I guess you're actually farther away from the building than you are from it. So,
So I'm going to take and get as close as I can to it
mhm.
and see how much I still have left to try to climb up it.
You can start climbing on it. Yeah.
I will dash to climb
Okay.
the rest of the way.
All right. Doop-doop-doop. You are on top of it.
Because next round, I'm opening that door.
All right. All right, Eliza, what do you do?
Can I yoink open the door?
Yes, you were standing there. Well, here's the thing. Give me a perception check.
I got a 15.
All right, you do notice that there is a door on top. So you do see
Oh,
that.
can I
So
open
yeah,
the
and you're
door?
right there. All right. It's got one of those. What's your intelligence? Your
My intelligence is a 10.
Okay, you are gonna have to roll to see if you can operate this door because it is unlike any door that you've probably ever found. So this is an intelligence check. Give me that die.
I got a 7, so I probably wouldn't even know how to do it.
You kind of you pull you get no it
I was banging on it with my weapons.
Ouch! She didn't even get a 7. She got a 2.
Oh man, -5 to Eliza. Yes, you have no idea. You're like mystery door. Oh, magical mystery door, please open to me.
Open sesame, do
yeah.
something.
Go web. Go. No. Web.
Magic
shoot.
portal door.
Magic portal door open. God dang it. All right. Trellin.
Well, there's another little thing that just jumped down next to me. I guess I better attempt to attack it.
All right.
Which in my current form is going to be a bite and a claw,
Go for it.
because that's what I can do. Oh, that's not the right button. That's the right button. Oh, that bite's gonna miss. It's an 8.
Yeah.
And that claw is a crit fail.
Oh no. You are overcome with the fact that you are a cat and it is round like a ball of yarn. And you just glom onto it and you're just like, but fail to do any damage to it whatsoever. Giving it that extra raking attack when you're like,
It spit out a little red dot.
that's right. Oh yeah, it just
It's like I don't have opposable thumbs.
Between what you just did there and the whole magic portal door, I had to put the comment in Twitch.
there it is. Yep. All right. So the other one will come down, bounce down, and let's see. Since Eliza, since you're attacking that door, it's going to come after you. Oh, with a lightning attack, and it has like just a metal probe, and it just goes bink, and you're like kablam. Oh, geez, that's going to be 9 damage, actually. As it tasers you.
Ow.
Yeah. So as you're standing there like, I can't figure this door out. Blam! It just comes up behind you. Bam! Puent, you see the whole thing. Totally came up behind her. You saw the whole thing. What do you do? Oh, and that's round 1 of stunned creature. Bam.
The debate. How close is this thing?
I mean, it's you're on the thing, so it's down there. I mean, it's 10 feet. It's pretty close.
Okay, well, since there are people around me now that have been damaged, I have that wonderful thing being a war cleric of Justice.
Oh yes. Oh.
So everybody gets a +1 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to forego trying to get into the door
Okay.
and hope that Eliza's able to actually operate said magic portal door.
All right.
And I'm going to jump down, trying to land on top of said smaller one,
Okay.
driving my Warhammer down on. Well, no, I'm sorry, driving the trident down into it.
There you go. All right. I love it. Oh yeah. So for those of you who aren't aware, priests of Jazzus have a thing called Feeding Frenzy, where anyone who is on their side gets a +1 to hit if they are within 20 feet and they are using melee weapons. So it is only for melee. It is your eyes roll back and you just but it has to be melee.
So as I jump down screaming, praise Justice,
Nice. Oh, wait, was it the 2 or the 21?
it's the 21.
21. Just in time. All right. I was really expecting somebody to try to give you. Oh, and Magnus is here to throw down another nat 21, but you're going to have to save that nat 21 because he already got one. But all right. So.
Thank you, Magnus. It'll
yeah,
be used.
using his saintly powers of a Patreon saint. All right. Throw me some damage. What do we got?
So that is 6 plus. That's 18 with that trident.
All right. And that was.
And the +1, does that go to damage as well?
Oh, yeah.
So that's actually 20
Nice.
total.
All right, you come down on it like, and it actually like because you just kind of go past it as well, just rip it down. It is now on you. You definitely have the trident is in it, like sparks shoot out a little bit. Pow pow. It's pretty wrecked. It might still be trying to move, but it's pretty wrecked. Eliza,
Yes.
you were shocked. Now you're standing there, like,
Just
all right.
a little bit crispy.
You could finish off this thing. You could fight the one that Trallin is playing with. You could go after the door again. What would you like to do?
Well, Point wants me to go after the door, so I'm going to go after the door.
All right. Trying to open the door.
Try to
Intelligence.
open the damn door.
Intelligence check.
Fuck.
You got this. Oh, and Quid Kevin throws down a nat 21 to Eliza.
No.
All right. Well done there. All right. And, well, I guess you've made it. You're like, wait.
Hold up, wait a
Turn-
minute. I
turn
got
to the
this. Break it down now.
Turns to the left. It goes left. Oh, all right. There we go. And, all right. Oh, wait. I'm just checking to see. Quid Kevin, you did use your, you have that many, just making sure you, those are on the, it's funny because it doesn't come up on my thing. Just making sure you're using your loyalty points to give her that nat 21 there. All right. So you managed to open the door. All right. Oh, there you go. First time tonight from Patreon Saint. You open the door, shring, and inside, it looks like a large area that perhaps, well, now it's on its side, of course. But oh gosh, give me another intelligence check.
Why are you trying to make me feel stupid?
Well, it's just your fighter. That's all. Now you're of a 10. That's not stupid. It's just average, kind of a low average. But this is some mind-boggling technology. So, I mean, an average person would possibly be boggled by it.
I
Kevin gave her an auto success.
Oh, auto success, throwing it down. All right, very well. It definitely appears that there is a control room inside this thing that, well, it's meant for gnomes, but there's enough space in there. You know, it's definitely gnome sized. And there are levers, gears, and things to possibly control this thing from the inside. Again, it is gnome sized, but it does fit 3, so it's pretty big. You could cram in there.
I mean, I may cram in there, but it's like going to be very owie. But sure, I'll cram myself right in there.
All right, you dive into the hole there. Again, it is face down, so it's, you know, everything is sideways from where you are. You jump in, and there you are, surrounded by, well, dark, but from the light of the porthole that you've entered. There you go. It's wow.
So trippy. So much
Cathedral
stuff.
ceilings for a gnome. That's right. All right, Trollin,
Well, I'm still hanging on to this thing, I guess.
you're wrestling with this little robot thing. Yes.
Wrestling with this thing. How about we go for one of its legs with a claw attack here and see
All
how
right.
we get something on it?
Go for it.
Oh, that's better. That is a nat 21.
Nicely done. All right. Give us that damage.
So that is 7 damage.
All right. That's so then doubled 14. All right. You rip a leg off. All right. It is still rolling around, and it does try to. No, it misses with a 4. How could it miss? It's right there. A bolt of lightning arcs out and away from you. Puent, the thing tries, wow, and successfully, actually. So it whips out one of these metal like antennas, and it shoots out forward, misses whatever it was going for, but then swings back and swats you across the top for 11 damage. It's a good thing I don't roll this when I get crit. Jeez. I seem to always roll 1s when I crit, and then I roll almost maximum damage when I'm just doing normal damage. Wow. So it just but does seem to be out of electricity now. So it just kind of, with that last blast, it does seem to fry itself as well, and just kind of it goes out. And that's round 2 of stunned creature. Well, I guess it's back to Puent.
So the one I'm on is pretty much dead.
Oh yeah, it kind of blew its wad right there. It is no more.
Well, yanking out the trident.
Mm-hmm.
I am sure that's going to mess it up even worse. She's inside the other one.
Yeah.
Did the other one drop down, or?
Oh yeah. So there's just the 2. There. Gilbert said there was a 3rd one, but it has not appeared. So
Well, you said there were
feeling,
2 up top, and then this one came from behind.
yeah, that's 3. But Gilbert said there were 3 small ones.
Well, I'm waiting to see what happens for the second and third small ones.
Well, there's only 2 small ones right now, and actually, so you took out one. Trollin's fighting the other one, and then the big one is on the ground.
Okay, so how close is the one that Trollin's fighting to me?
Oh, he's right there. You're all within 20 feet of each other.
Okay, so I'm yanking out the trident and I'm charging that one.
All right, bring it.
And I think I will use the nat 21 that Magnus gave me.
All right, blam, do it.
That is 18 damage.
Again? All right, well, it already took 14, so you just take it right out. And you sparks shoot out, and it just falls apart. Well done.
Well, I won't lie. This specific D6 has been sitting in with the nat 21s that you sent me in the original run.
Mm-hmm.
Those two black nat 21 dice roll probably 55% 21s.
What can I say? They're magic.
Well, and this die rolls probably the same 6.
Well done.
Good luck when I can get it.
There you go. All right, so you smash that thing, and I mean, you've got a little bit of movement left if you want to use it, but
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
all right, Trollin.
Something else is around, and I'm aware of it, so I'm just going to go stealth.
Okay.
Which, since I'm currently a Black Panther, I get a +6 to stealth,
All right.
and that's going to be at 25 to be stealthy as a cat.
All right, you get back up on your feet, and you like. All right.
I'll try and circle the place a little bit, look for this thing.
All right. You go around it, and like it's I mean, aside from piles of rubble, let's see. There it is. You almost get back to the back, and then it is kind of just sitting there, cradled in a little bit of rubble. You almost didn't see it, but because you were stealthy, you were like taking your time, looking around. And there it is, trying to be clever.
Well, I don't imagine I've got another action left to attack with. So we'll hold that for next turn.
All right. Eliza,
Yes.
you are inside.
Ooh.
I love how the
He's-
the character with the problem, well, he might not have the lowest intelligence, but
It's close.
but like, here, why don't we give you all the puzzles to solve? All right, so what would you like to do?
Can I try to figure out, like, to see if I can make this thing work?
Sure.
Sweet.
Well, you know what you have to roll.
Intelligence, as usual.
Animal handling.
Animal handling.
It's always animal handling.
Always to drive a machine. Yep.
It's always animal handling.
I don't have animal handling.
Not many people do.
No one does. Oh shoot. Oh, we still on the Weird Scouts rewards listed. Oh, I'm sorry.
Animal handling is technically wisdom.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, that is I think 500 will give I'm gonna have to look it up. But
I think it's 1,000.
for advantage or for not for +5.
So I think it's 500 for advantage. No, I think it's 1,000 for the +5, 1,500 for advantage.
Oh. Well, it should be
You
the
got
same.
auto success and crit in there too. So it is 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,100.
Right.
I
So
just can't remember if the +5 was the
bottom was
lowest
5.
one or the-
all right, there you go. If the bottom is 5, that's got to be the +5 on the bottom. So
Yeah.
for 500 points. So Eliza, you have +5. Let's do it. What'd you get?
11.
+5, or is that 11 total?
Well, 11 then plus 5.
All right.
So,
So 16, that's not bad. You because of course it's face down, so you're trying to like, oh, I think if you would do that and then that and that. However, it is dark and you're not really sure. So you're like, it seems to make sense to you. The levers, the things. This is like a, you're a fighter. This is like a battle wagon of sorts. The levers and the knobs seem to make some kind of sense, even if they are on their side and you're kind of looking at them from the wrong direction. But nothing's moving anything. I mean, if you pull a lever and you're like, nothing really, meh. Give me another intelligence roll.
I hate you so much.
Well, here's the thing. If it's 500 points, Monroe Max gave you another 500, so that's another +5.
All right.
I want to prove that I'm not just pretty, that I'm also smart.
Well, so far you're doing not bad actually. So
Yeah.
All right.
And
I
when the
rolled
Saints
11.
All right. So you are thinking that it did get shut down with that capacitor. So it might be that it's just off for a little while. You do know that it was only going to stun it for a little while. It might still be stunned. It might not be you. Maybe it's him. Who knows? So it's not you. It's the machine.
Stupid machine.
But you do feel like you like this. These make sense. The things that you're seeing make sense. So that's pretty much your go. Puent, what you doing there?
Looking around to see if anything else is coming by.
All right.
I saw our druid decide that he was just going to disappear.
Yes, he just went around the building. So you're checking out. Doesn't seem to be anything else coming down any of the streets. Gilbert is standing there on the hovercraft, just kind of going. Trailing.
Well, I seem to get a sneak attack or a surprise attack. Not a sneak attack, but it's not aware of me yet, right?
Right.
That'll work. I'm going to pounce on it.
All right. Give it the pounce. I'll give you advantage on that attack.
Yeah. Well, I might not need it because that was a 23.
Ooh,
Let's see if I
nice.
get a crit. No. That was
All right.
23 on the attack.
You crouch, you wiggle your butt like a giant cat, and then nothing but claws and teeth.
And when I hit a creature with a claw attack with a pounce, the target must succeed on a DC 12 strength saving throw or fall prone.
I rolled a natural 21.
Oh, okay, it's not falling.
You're like,
Really
bam,
expect a
you
giant
hit
metal
it,
machine
and you're
fall
like,
prone.
yeah. And you feel it like servos and gyros inside and like pushes out on with like little machinery. For a 400-year-old machine, it's doing great.
Or at least get to do 6 damage to it.
Right on. All right.
And I can still bite it. That's going to leave me a 14. Bite it.
That's not gonna hit, actually. All right. As a reaction, it tries to shock you with electricity and fails, surprisingly. And then it has its go. Oh, dang! And it actually has a blade that shoots out. That's gonna be 6 damage.
Well,
You hear meow, meow, bzz, ah, from around the corner there, Puent. And then, so Eliza, there is a button,
Okay.
a bright candy-like button that just is dying for you. You're just like, maybe it's the restart button.
It's like all I want to do is push the magic button.
Do you push the magic button? All right. You push the magic button. There's a hum. There's a glow as all of the insides start to hum again with electricity. Puent, behind you. The automaton comes to life. You're like, okay, is that a good thing? Eliza, it actually writes itself. And so you're kind of like, because you're standing on the wall, because it's sideways, and then it like, so you're kind of you leap down with your amazing dexterity, and you what's your
abilities?
What is your dexterity actually?
15 plus 2.
All right, so you realize what's going on, and so you kind of like leap down to the floor. For as small as it is, it's still still have to leap, and you are on the floor as it stands up. And there are little vision ports that you can kind of see out. There's definitely like a little thing that you're supposed to put your eyes up onto. And I guess it'd be a periscope if it was a submarine, but and yeah. So dare you touch any of the other controls?
Yes.
Yes, she said.
Mash all the things.
Play with all the things. Let me play with all the things.
All right. What would you like it to do? What are you trying to make it do?
I'm trying to. Well, you said that the automaton came back to life, right?
Yes.
I
You
wanna
are
see
inside
if
of it.
it's controlling the automaton.
Yes. So would you like it to move, fire, do the robot? What would you like it to do?
Well, we're trying to get into the temple,
Yes.
behind the brass doors. I'm gonna have it shoot at the doors, like to break
All
the
right.
doors down so we can get in.
All right. So give me that animal handling check.
And this is why Puent just drinks. Because Puent's attitude was, I'm going to be like Echo.
Oh,
Got a 17.
and Reverend Tommy throws down a fail. Oh, boop. Oh, ouch. And even after she got that beautiful roll, if you'd rolled a natural 21, you could have saved it. But you're like, it, Puent, you see it like turn, it faces the building, and then an arm reaches out and punches the building itself. Doesn't really do too much damage to it, but the building, it's fairly solid. It does a little bit, it looks like it does more damage to the hand than it does to the building. Some rocks, though, shoot off, some shards of rocks shoot off from the building. And you're like, oh, geez, okay, all right. Puent, you're not sure. Is it angry and trying to attack? Does it know that someone's inside of it? You don't know yet. Right.
Nope. And I'm just going to scream out, I should have stabby timed you.
Yes. Tommy, these are your people. All right. So wait. Okay. No, it attacked you. So Traylon. I'm deciding on both. There you go.
It's okay.
The people in the north say Traylon. The people in the south say Trollin. So, what do you do?
Well, I still have a couple of hit points left as a cat, so I'm going to continue to be a cat. I'm going to try and bite it and claw it. Oh, the bite's a 21 to hit.
Nice.
So I sink my teeth into something that looks squishy, some tube underneath or something.
Right.
5 damage to it.
It's more like you rip it open with your claw and then like oh.
And that second attack is only a 12.
That's all right. What's that damage?
Oh, That's 4.
So then doubled. You did. Oh man. And you'd only done 6 to it before. All right. Well, you bat it around and it rolls down some of the rubble. It's not doing too well on its own, but it does manage to right itself, get back up, and do towards you. Boom. She's inside the robot. It shoots a blast at you of electricity, or tries to tag you with that long rod, and it totally misses. Well, Gwent, what you got?
See this thing now?
Yeah, you come around the corner and you're like, okay, and it actually rolls down the pile of rubble right to you. So it is right in front of you.
Good, stabby time.
All right.
The guy who started with the Warhammer is now becoming more like,
Oh no.
Stabby.
I just got a message from Erin that said her Wi-Fi went out. So well, so we're gonna finish this little fight right here, and then we are gonna take a couple minutes break. So we'll see what happens. So, and Magnus throws down advantage, but you don't need it because you got a. All right, tell you what, if you could roll another 21 with that advantage.
We'll see, because I'm going to switch to a red so you
Okay.
can see it's a different die.
Right on.
Well, it is not 21. It stopped at a 14.
Oh well. All right. You get in there. Kablam! Can I +5 for Wi-Fi? Probably not. It has already had taken 14 damage. So you get in there once again, skewering it with your trident. So you stand there as the big robot turns around back and forth, like brings its arm down on top of the roof of the building, as you're standing there looking at it like, huh? And my friends, we're going to take a quick bio break. It's actually almost been 2 hours.
Hold up.
So
We missed it. Thanks for Rev Tommy calling it out. Magnus
crits the second roll.
He spent Twitch points to crit the second roll.
All right. Double crit.
Yeah, thank you, Magnus.
So here's what's gonna happen. You skewer it and like bam, and you twist that trident, and you can tell that it unlocks the door. Like, and you're like, it clearly has the power to control the building, and the door actually, like, you hear latches undo as the dying breath of this automaton's like unlocking door. And there inside is the glowing glow of the glowing power batteries. We are going to take a quick break right now, just 4 minutes, everybody. So take a quick break for yourself, and we are going to be right back. And hopefully Erin will be back with her Wi-Fi as well. So we'll see you in 4 minutes, everybody.
Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-tooter-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
To anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-tooter-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
the world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be
But
afraid.
every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-tooter-terry-o-dee, da-dee, a fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go!
Hello. We're almost there. All right, and welcome back. Sorry you missed the last little bit there. The you are inside of the giant automaton, trying to figure it out. It started to smash the the roof of the building, and the door flies open. You're not really sure how or why. But there it is. And there's everyone, the ruins of those poor little automatons, gears and whatnot all strewn about. There's the open door to all of the room full of power cells, actually chests full of power cells. What do you do? I finally get my Voltron scene.
I'm gonna start collecting power cells.
All right. So are you using the robot to do it, or are you getting out of the robot and doing it by hand?
Good question. I'll do it by hand because I'm like kind of done playing with the robot.
All right. Give me one more intelligence check.
The look on your face is not good.
What'd you do? What did you do?
I'm still rolling, sweetie.
Okay. Oh, you're
I got a 19.
all right.
Ooh.
So next to that lovely candy-like button, you're pretty sure that you saw next to that was the like autopilot turn on, turn off, and you're like, maybe turn off the autopilot so that it doesn't say start over. Because if there's no one controlling it, you're like, autopilot is on, and you're like, you know what? Before I leave, maybe just turn that off. Maybe just turn it off. Boop. And you turn it off. It is still powered, still on, but it is not attacking anybody, let's say. So you pop out, still not attacking anybody. You're now, of course, 25. Well, you're 20 feet off the ground, but you can get over to the roof.
Yeah, seriously.
It's not that she couldn't get out. She just needed to remember to turn off the autopilot. Because there it is. Because if she had gotten out, then you have to fight that whole thing all over again. And they don't have another capacitor. They only had the one. So, yeah. Anyway.
But at least I'm smart.
So Gilbert comes over with the hovercraft. Boop. And he's like, oh my gosh, yes, let's load this thing up. It's going to be great. And you lug all of these crate after crate. And he's like, you guys are still continuing to do crates. And he's popped a couple open. And you see him sliding a couple of them into the base of the whatever weapon is on the front of this hovercraft. And he's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. So good. So good. All right. So you load up all of the power cells onto the hovercraft. The Leonin finally make it around here after having been dispersed. They heard you yelling and they heard all the fighting, so they came back over. And they're gonna be like, well, let's see if we can load up these armors. And they slide in a couple of power cells into their armor, and they're like, oh yeah, this is brilliant. This is great.
Yeah.
Love this.
Yeah,
You're like,
after we did all the hard work and you ran away like cowards.
what?
Yeah, they
Oh,
must
you want to
be
go
so
fight the big
miserable.
giant thing? Let's do this.
I
Can I
could
have
fight
that
you and just
staff
punch you in the
that you're
face.
holding?
What's that?
I could just
Wait,
punch
can
you
I
in
have
the
that
face.
staff you're holding?
Oh yeah. You're asking Puent?
Yeah.
Puent, you are muted, by the way. There we go.
Because I was eating. Oh, no. Now that we're here, I give everybody their weapons.
Oh yeah. Just like that scene from All right. You power them up.
So I have to admit, I'm kind of feeling like that movie Ultraviolet. Weapons count. Way too many.
That's right. Actually, I was thinking of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, where he has to like give the guy all the weapons, and he's like, "Yeah, good times, good times." All right, so yeah, you use you go through a couple of chests full of these batteries to load up everybody to their full extent. And yeah, this staff that you have is like, oh yeah, you're not entirely 100% sure how to use it, but I mean, it's only got a couple of buttons on it. What could go wrong, right? So
Cool.
I'm grabbing a power cell because I don't know the other things that have been found out about these power cells.
right.
I mean, the player does, the character doesn't. I'm taking a power cell and putting it in the base of the Warhammer.
It feels more powerful. Yes. Eliza, are you lighting up your a lightsaber?
That's why I got a rapier, because I'm like, oh, I have my very own lightsaber.
It's a
Echo gets a flying carpet. I get a lightsaber.
All right. You're suited up. You're powered up. Gilbert's like, let's take this thing to the volcano. Do you think you can drive it?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, Gilbert's like, well, I could drive that if you want to drive the hovercraft, but I mean, you were able to take it down. I guess. Meh.
Robot hovercraft. Robot hovercraft. I'll take the robot.
Okay. You do kind of have to, like, it is gnome sized, but so you're kind of like, I guess you're like on your knees in front of the controls, but it's all right. You like kind of break the chair of it and just, all right, there you go. You're good. You're good. You can actually, you've succeeded at enough rolls that you can actually figure out, you've figured out how to move it.
Before we leave, I'm going to take a quick look around with the information that I was given to see if there's anything else here that could potentially help the other part of our party when we get to the volcano.
Smart. I mean, this is just the battery depot in here. Is there anything you'd have to get back inside the other place? But I mean, you've got a couple extra suits, I mean, well, no, you didn't grab any extra suits. Yeah, well, I mean, there's just the batteries here and a hovercraft, so and a giant robot. But we'll see.
We took a few extra cases of those batteries, right?
Oh yeah, you took all of them. Took as many as you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Is he powering up his cannon too?
Oh yes, he absolutely powered up the cannon. Yep. All right, so he's like, well, the Leonin are like, this is awesome. This is like, yeah, this feels good. I could run forever. It's great. They all now look like Black Panther, probably. Just like Iron Man, Black Panther, maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
So Iron Panther.
Iron Panther. There you go, Iron Panther. All right, so I'm just going over my notes.
He said, "I'm wearing most of one of those."
Right.
Not the
And I was gonna say plant. Well, gnomish is not quite dwarvish.
No, I'm too big for gnomish.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah. So
I'm
all
the
right,
only
so
one that can't get armor.
right.
That's
So
what
you
happens
head
when
on.
you're 4'6" and 165 pounds.
Yeah, that's not gnomish at all. No.
No.
So you head on out of the city, far away from the piazza where the the gear chasers are, unless you want to try to get back in there.
Sorry, Tommy's comment cracked me up.
Oh no, I see it. Well, let's see. So you're not going to go back into the thing, right? So you're just going to go back around. However, Gilbert says, well, we are going to be passing by my place before we get to the volcano. Is there anything you can think of that we might need? Anything else?
Depends on what you've got at your place.
I have a lot of wrecks. I mean, I was trying to build some armor together, and
Well,
yeah.
we're going to a volcano, so lava-proof, fireproof, anything like that?
I'm thinking something totally different. I don't think he's kind of like what's my namesake. Would you have anything that would pass for plate mail for me that would have spikes coming out of it?
Well, I was working on some armor. It would take a little while to make it the right size, but I've got some chunks. I don't know. How much time do we have?
Riding on a hovercraft makes it a little more convenient.
It's true.
Better than walking.
So we could take a little extra time. And now that I have power cells, all right. He's like, well, let's get back to my place. And I think I could make Puent a fantastic suit of armor now that since I have all the power. Yes. Might not be the best armor, but it will be heavily weaponized.
Oh, it doesn't even have to be heavily weaponized. I just want something that passes for, well, it technically is plate, but it's got like little shark tooth style barbs coming out of it, because I want Puent eventually to basically be the battle raging war cleric of Jossus.
Oh yeah. So if you remember
Dumbledore Puent from the Drizzt series, that's basically what I want to turn him into.
That's
just
totally
pick me
doable.
up and throw me. I'll just tumble.
Totally doable. All right, so and that's gonna give you another day, which is right there. Okay, so you head on north, out of Syracuse, over to the rubble that is Katani, and into Gilbert's little place. Actually, that's going to give you, Eliza, some extra time to figure out how to work this little robot guy.
Tommy's killing me today.
I am Iron Dwarf. So he's going to build it. Let's give him a little... Oh, all right. Nice. It takes him a little while. He's like, he's just so happy to have all that extra power. So basically, that's enough time for a long rest. Thanks, Kyler. All right. So that you can get your hit points back and anything that you lost before. Gilbert works all night, and the next day he's putting the finishing touches on a very sweet suit of plate mail with shark-like spikes sticking out of it from all the convenient places. And he actually was able to like make a like nice little shark tooth emblem right on the front. It looks pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. All right. Well, you in the large robot. Everyone else on the hovercraft, and a small force of Leonin head to the volcano. And a -5 the next roll by a player. Man, God, what are you doing? It takes a little while to get there. You're traveling north.
I just hope he remembers that we have the same thing that we can do to him next month.
That's right. You get to the base of the volcano without much problem. You are noticing that the further away you are from the volcano, the more the plants don't seem to be doing well. So, like the closer to the volcano, plants are doing great. Or these fire plants, they're doing fantastic. Probably because they're close to the volcano. And the further away they are, they're still doing okay, but they're definitely like a little wilty. And you do see way off in the distance a group their banners are flying. They've got horses. These do seem to be. Oh, it seems to be a group from Magecroft, and if those flags are correct, the king is in that group.
Oh hell no!
You can't see him, but if his banner, his personal banner, is flying, you do see a very decorative carriage that it's pretty far off. It's like I said, you are really far away. You just kind of see the dust cloud and this group of soldiers, but you do see his carriage, which you guys might have probably seen it going up and down the streets of Magecroft. It is carried by they're basically unseen servants, but you can kind of see them. He dresses them up all fancy, and then they carry his little personal carriage. So it's not like horses are pulling it. It's actually like being carried by these invisible creatures that have dressed up, that he has them dressed up to the nines. And it is, of course, a fancy wagon or fancy carriage. So yeah. So you're like, well, maybe that's it. I mean, again, you are super far away, but as you are one of the mounds of the volcanoes, like one of the ancient where lava had once come up a long, long time ago, and you're kind of crawling on that. And yeah, so pretty far away, but they are headed to the volcano as well. And any other thoughts there? And I want to welcome everybody who just showed up on our feed. We're getting close. Would you like to interact with these guys, or would you like to hide from these guys? Would you like to? Puent,
I am saying hide from them, because if he sees a priest of justice not with the group, it's not going to be a good thing.
Yeah. Eliza, remember you are in a large
directly
robot.
raiding the king.
Oh, say it again.
I'm not interested in directly raiding the king.
No.
This seems like a bad idea.
It probably is.
He's probably surrounded by some really high level people.
And then there's me that I'm just like staring off longingly, being like, I miss being fancy.
No.
Although, just a thought, could we flip that thing back into autopilot, point it in their direction?
Oh, that's possible.
Be me.
Might make a little distraction. We might at least be able to find out if the prisoner's with them. Gear Chaser, right? He's with the king somewhere.
Oh yes, as far as you know, he is with the king, Papa Gear Chaser. Yes.
Maybe
Cast
we can figure out a
fireball.
little more concretely.
Now Eliza's like grappling with herself, being like, do the heroic thing or be petty. Do the heroic thing or be petty.
Are we the baddies?
What?
So are we the baddies? I
Listen,
mean,
Eliza's a magpie.
is the king really evil? I mean, he's just doing what he needs to do to survive and keep this city running. Come on, give him a break, people. Sometimes you have to do bad. It's like Gotham. It's worse than Gotham, honestly. It's like Gotham if it was run by mad wizards. Ugh. I'm the goodie. That's right. Reminder that Eliza is a champion fighter.
Shade.
Eliza can be bait. Okay, these are good thoughts there. Fireball. Does anybody cast Fireball? I know somebody in that group casts Fireball. That'd be the king. So
Yeah, what? How much does his armor give us?
and
It's,
then
Oh my
seconds
God,
the Fireball.
What do I do?
Oh boy.
What do I
Drink
do?
Fireball. Okay, yes. Well, that's true. You could drink Fireball. All right. So at this point, you can evade. There's no doubt about that. You're super far away from each other, but you are rather an outstanding group. I mean, you have a hovercraft, a giant robot, and 25 Leonin. So you will have to, you'll have to start evading now, or just go for it. And he doesn't care who he takes out with Fireball. That's true. So are we evading?
I think evade is better.
I'm like struggling because I'm like, no, I want to.
Yeah, you might be a champion fighter and you might want to be doing all that. You also know that there are some fights that you just cannot champion.
I feel like you're saying that because I'm a girl.
No, I am saying you're smart enough to know there are some fights you just cannot champion. You wouldn't put yourself in a I'm going to die no matter what the outcome situation.
But I would die going out in a blaze of glory.
Although I do really think that it would be funny to send out the battle bot on autopilot. That would be funny. They would probably be able to take it down, but it would be funny though.
Give us a real good idea what they can do.
That's
They
true.
take it out in like half of a round versus struggle with it.
Right. But maybe that's a thing saved for later, though. That's a good idea. That's such a good idea. +5 to Eliza just in case.
I'm very impulsive.
You have a +5 just in case. I think you still have an advantage just in case.
Right. I'm going to assume that you're at the very least kind of sliding behind the hill so that you can at least debate this for a little bit instead of standing on the top of the hill where you are. So you kind of like, the group kind of like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What's happening, all? What are we doing? And Eliza's sitting on top of her little tank robot going, and Gilbert's like, well, I mean, might not be able to fit that thing inside some of the parts of the volcano we wanted to go into, but at the same time, we could just head for the top of the volcano. I mean, it's a long way away, but I mean, I've never really been inside. There are plenty of caves all over this volcano, but we could just go right for the top. Who knows?
Let's just go for the top of the volcano. Fine.
I mean, I've seen some weird stuff up there. All right.
Let's head for the volcano.
All right. I'm just heading for the top. All right. It will take some time. You guys are gonna, and you guys are pretty big. All right. So that shoots the cannon at the king. Yeah, they're kind of out of range, unfortunately, for that, but that would be very adorable. However, you're like, okay, you kind of think about where they are, you think about the top of the volcano. Again, it's like 6,000 feet up, so it's gonna be a little while to get there. And you're like, okay, well, you got to kind of go around a little bit, and then go up to the top of the volcano. So that they don't see you. They're eventually going to see you, obviously, if you're, but eventually. However, there are other people here or other groups around, and everybody just give me a. Oh well, okay. And then Eliza has 1 success, 1 advantage, and 1 +5. Nice. So let's see. The cats are gonna stealth it up. Gilbert gets a natural 21 on stealth with his animal handling for the hovercraft. As long as nobody rolls a 1, just don't roll a 1.
I'm good.
Okay.
15.
All right.
8.
All right. There we go. So this is like, good lord. One player's a -5, and the team has a natural 21. Oh man. All right. So you stealth your way around and up towards the top of the mountain. You are close, and there.
Question, because
Yes.
Fab's talking about spending Twitch points. Doesn't
Yes.
she also get for the Patriot Saints games? Doesn't she also get what we get?
Well, yes, I think we did that at one time. Yes, she does have. Yep, she can spend Twitch points. You are about halfway to the top. It's pretty big. Like it's a sweeping. It's not very steep. It's just huge volcano. So you can kind of wiggle your way through large rocks, boulders, and you get around a certain point. Eliza, you see, being the tallest one in the group, as you come around a few large rocks, there is a very large group of flaming. They look like creatures, but they are just completely made of fire.
While we're going up, Paulo, I'm looking to see if there's any like crevices or anything that we might be able to sneak past. Anything that could come up with the -5 from Kylar. Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's
At least I didn't fall out the hovercraft this time.
So there is a troop of these flaming. They're actually coal elementals, and they are like vaguely humanoid, but they are just flames, and they are actually holding pole arms, and they seem to be forming up into a formation. You're not sure, but Eliza, using your fighter skills of combat, you're kind of like, if they've spotted the king, then they might be here to form up and then figure out what to do if the king's troops are off that way. But you've come up on these guys now, and they are you've gotten past whatever sentries or guards that they had. So, Allah. All right. Head to bed. So next damage from either player or DM gets it. All right. You do see a very large cave entrance, more past these guys off to the left-ish. They are forming up kind of to your right, and of course downhill more towards your right, and down the mountainside. You know, somewhere over there is the king and his group. What would you like to do?
Can I possibly go spy on the king? Just to like.
Well, if not in a 20-foot tall vehicle.
Well, I mean, if I get out it and then walk and then.
Sure.
Like, so can I do that?
Yeah.
And like see if I can like eavesdrop, gain some information or anything like that.
You would have to get really close. You're pretty far away, but you would have to. You could. I don't know if the rest of the group is going to do that, but or be around. Meryl.
I mean, I'm very good at being dexterous, so it's like,
It's true.
I'm not very sneaky in power armor.
True.
And I'm in plate, so there is no way I'm sneaky.
Well, Gilbert and the Leonin leader are kind of like, well, all right, here's the thing. It's like, well, we could fight these guys. We could probably take them. There's 30 of them. We could probably take them with these power armor and stuff. But if they're going to fight the king, maybe just let them fight the king. We just... Or we could just wipe them out. I don't know. Up to you. But then maybe the king shows up. I don't know.
Decisions.
Right. Just head for the cave, maybe? Or I
I'll
don't
head
know.
to the cave.
Or we just keep trekking up the side of the mountain. Up to you. It is a bit snowy up there. I just want you to know.
Why is it snowing on the top of a volcano?
Because it's that tall.
I'm not even gonna ask questions.
Yeah, if these things are motioning towards the king or like they're threatened by the king, let's let that happen.
All right. Very well. So you're kind of off, like I said, you guys are up on some rocks, looking down at them. They form up and they head down in the king's direction. It'll probably be a little while before they get there, but now the cave is wide open.
Sneaky over to the cave.
All right. You get into the cave. Eliza, this area, although the cave ceiling is just high enough to get this thing in. You've actually gotten pretty good at controlling it. So you are actually kind of using, like, you've managed to get the legs shorter. So it's it's awkward, but you still managed to get in there. And now that all those guys are formed up and left, there is before you get in the cave, you can tell that way up ahead is some kind of very large room, and it's been carved out and shaped. It is, and beyond that room, you can see. So it's you're down this hallway. You see this, what opens up into a large room, but on the far end of that room are columns, arching columns, and clearly lava is beyond that somewhere, because the red glow against those columns is just pretty bright. What would you like to do?
I kind of want to go investigate.
All right. You want to investigate with your mech warrior, or would you like to investigate with yourself?
With myself.
All right. How about the rest?
I'll keep close behind her.
All right. Puent?
I'm going to stay as close as I can, considering that I can't move as fast.
All right.
Short, stumpy legs don't work well.
Right on. You enter this room, and there are clearly not religious symbols, but there are markings all over these walls that Puent, you would believe are the sigils for some form of portal or a gateway to, well, who knows what.
Well, are they familiar? Have I seen them in, say, the water plane or the Underdim?
Right? Not entirely. You do notice that there are some similar markings, but this is definitely not exactly the same. But why don't you give me an Arcana check?
Yeah, it's only 12.
All right. Maybe it's just the fire plane. You don't know. I don't know.
It looked like the symbol that we saw when we closed the portals, rescuing the.
Yes. There are some similarities there. Yes, indeed. Yes. You're like, oh, yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
Right. There's no one in the room right now, and there is, and of course, like I said, the columns, this large room, it's probably 80 feet wide, and there's these columns all across the far side of the wall, and beyond that, a ledge, and beyond that is clearly a pit full of lava. This may or may not be the main one, but there's definitely something moving beyond that pit. And you're like, what is it? It does seem to be lava that is moving. And it's not flowing. I mean, it's hot. It's moving, but it's not moving like lava should. It's moving like an animal or a creature, like a very large, I'm not going to say tentacle, but lava tentacles. But it does seem to move like the neck of perhaps like a creature, maybe a perhaps even gigantic, I don't want to say hydra, but a gigantic hydra made of lava. And you're like, oh, that can't be good. That can't be good. But there you are in this room with the portals.
Well, we may not be seeing smoke on the water, but there's definitely fire about to be in the sky.
Now, since Trollan, since you did shut down those other portals, these are of the same, like they have a same make to them that perhaps you could shut these portals down here. And you know what we're gonna do? Tentacles? Tentacles.
Yeah, instead of Blue's Clues, it's Tentacles.
Right. Right. So there you are in this room with portals. There's the columns, the fire, and way over there in that lava pit is. I would watch that show.
So would I, Nabs. So would I.
Way over there, this living lava has not seen you yet. You're kind of like, well, I don't really want it to see me. What would you like to try to do?
Yeah, let's go shut some of these portals down. Get out of the way of line of sight. Shut a portal down somewhere.
All right. Sounds good. So what we're going to do, my friends, we're going to close our adventure right here as you guys are starting to try to decipher the portals and try to shut them down. Somewhere tomorrow night, this will become very, very important that those portals get shut down. And we'll join some of our adventures tomorrow night, and we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see all of you in the comments, and you'll be able to perhaps continue on the adventure in your comments, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great, crazy game. This is going to be our finale for this season, Now we are the next week, just so everybody knows, next week we're going to do a AMA. We're going to ask me anything on Tuesday night. Then in June we're going to have like a mini 4-episode quest, and then we have more surprises in store. And of course, every month our Patreon Saints, our grand Patreon Saints, will play a game, and of course we will always tie it into our adventures with our Tuesday night game as well. So we hope to see you there again. Hope you've had a good time, and it's all building up into one gigantic lava fight. Lava fight. All right. Well, my friends, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for playing, everybody. Trollan, Puent, and Eliza, our heroes for tonight, have managed to get a small cadre of Leonin, Gilbert with a hovercraft and a cannon, and a giant robot up to this fight. And we're going to see it all tomorrow night. That is at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Thanks a lot for everybody, and we hope to see you all again. It's Nat 21 Adventures. When a natural 20 just won't do, you need a Nat 21. Thanks a lot, everybody.